Awesome. Testing. Can you hear me speaking? Test, test. Test, test. Testing. Test, test. Alright guys, we're starting to wrap up our practice here. We have our 3 players, Dennis Klein, Clancy DeGroots, and my pick, Jimmy Montgomery. Jimmy's throwing 80 yards, so he'll be throwing a Columbia 300 ball. Dennis will be throwing Storm his first 3 games, and Clancy will be throwing a Brunswick ball his first 3 games. Their second 3 games, I believe they will be switching brands. So Jimmy mentioned maybe he'll be throwing a hammer ball, and Dennis will be throwing the Storm, the Roto-Grip balls. I'm not sure about what Clancy will be throwing yet. Once they decide on their balls, I will notify you guys of what ball they were throwing.
Way up, he says you can barely get.
So each game they will be throwing a different ball. They're bowling 6 games. They're going to throw 2 games with a solid, 2 games with a hybrid, and 2 games with a pearl. Each player has a strength with each ball. Dennis likes the solids, Jimmy likes the hybrids, and Clancy likes the pearls. This is a 6-game shootout. They each put up $500, so winner's going to take home $1,500 and some bragging rights as well. They do all work together in Your Strike Shop over here at RH Johnson. So if the boss doesn't win, he's definitely going to be hearing it from one of the guys.
said try it. I will try it again.
Bring your Benjamin.
All right, Dennis is down there saying, bring the Benjamins. That's probably 500 he's going to hand over to one of the other guys.
Conspiracy. Conspiracy solid, or the original conspiracy.
All right, looks like Dennis Klein is kicking us off here. Dennis has chosen to throw the Gravity Evolve. The solids is his strongest point, so he's looking to get off to a big jump ahead of the other two guys here. Yeah, looks like Jimmy's next up. He is throwing the Columbia 300 Statement Solid.
Or solid hybrid. My bad.
Doesn't look like Jimmy's too scared of Dennis. Alright, and Clancy is throwing the original Conspiracy Solid. Starts off with a somewhat flat 9. Again, they are bowling 6 games, and it is total pinfall. So you don't just have to win games, you have to win the total pinfall. If you're second every game, but you have the most pins at the end, you are the winner. Dennis gets that one a little wide. Leaves the 1, 2, 4, 10 washout. Oh, Clancy trips the 6, 8. Clancy just went to the bionic arm this week, and before they got started, Jimmy was joking around and said, "Hey, I didn't sign up for this when you were wearing that." Oh, Dennis covers the washouts to keep it close. Jimmy's looking to be the first one to get a double here.
I'm growing it. Nice and
Oh, look at that. Jimmy's got a little bit of room.
Me personally, I'm a little conflicted on who my pick is here. Dennis is my co-director. Clancy's a lefty, so I like that. But Jimmy is throwing EBI, and that's my brand of choice, so. Wow, Dennis just tripped a 5-10. That was not a very good shot. Alright, Clancy looks to be lined up now. They are just bowling on a regular house shot, which at Johnson is pretty tough. However, these three guys are pretty solid players, so they'll probably be lighting up the scoreboards. Alright, Jimmy gets a good break there, trips out the 4 to leave just the 3-6-10. Jimmy gets lucky and trips out the 10 there to leave only the 7. After a fast start, he seems to be struggling a little bit right now. But game 2 is with a hybrid, and that is Jimmy's strong point, so he'll look to make up whatever pins he may lose here in game 2. If you guys are watching this now, get familiar with it. This is going to be our new setup for CBE tournaments. We'll be kicking it off with the Lana King here in a couple of weeks, November 8th through the 10th, coming at you from RH Johnson Lanes. That one is guaranteed $5,000 to win for the seniors. That is not a CBE event per se, however, we will be here representing. And Dennis has informed me there's about 10 spots left, so if you're interested, reach out to myself, Theo, or Dennis Klein, and we'll get you guys signed up. Dennis Klein at Your Strike Shop has graciously sponsored a incredible live streaming package here with some nice cameras and microphones, so we can provide you guys some of the best live streaming from our tournaments from here on out. Again, Lana King, November 8th through the 10th, and then our CBE season will be finishing up. The Open has our 9th event of the season and the last event to gain points for the major on November 30th. That is a Saturday, coming at you at Lakeview with an earlier start time than normal. Check in at 8, bowl at 9. Again, that is the last event to earn points to get into the top 4 and earn a bye for the major It is pretty close, so if any of those guys are in, say, 5th through 9th, pop off on a win, and the other guys in the top 2, 3, and 4 spots don't win or make the top 5 or make the top 10, they're probably going to get bumped out. So those points are still very tight. All right, Dennis rights the ship after his split. Through 5, Dennis and Jimmy are at a dead tie at 93, and Clancy is looking at 290 pace if he punches, and he gets a 5-bagger. He's telling Dennis, take that solid, I got one for you. Alright, Jimmy matches Dennis. So they're still at a dead tie. Dennis and Jimmy punch out. They'll shoot 243, and again Clancy is aiming for 290 if he punches. Dennis doubles up. After CBE's November 30th event, our next one will be the Senior Major on December 14th. Mark that date on your calendar. I know the format. I know the date. The only thing I don't know yet is how much we're going to guarantee. We're still working on more sponsors. We're aiming at $1,500 for first. If we can get more, then great. Myself and Dennis are definitely working hard to get that for you guys. Alright, Jimmy matches Dennis. Clancy went a little bit light and left the 369. Looking to cover it. Alright. Gets a spare. Dennis is looking to finish strong and keep it close to Clancy. If he can punch out and keep within 20 of Clancy. However, I did say that the solid is Dennis's strongest ball, so he's going to have to make up some pins with the hybrid and the pearl. Clancy gets back on track, putting 10 back. Jimmy runs into some trouble there, chopping the 6 off the 10. He can now punch out for 209. Dennis 243. Clancy 267. So Clancy's looking to get out to a big lead. But Dennis isn't letting him out of his sights, keeping him true. Oh, Clancy just opened the door for him.
Second into the Wild Wild West, I was like.
It's a bit outside for Jimmy, leaving a 2-pin. I have no doubt, though, that Jimmy's going to make up some pins in game 2 when they use the hybrids. Again, Jimmy's using the statement solid for his game 1 on the solid lane, and Clancy's using the original conspiracy solid, and Dennis is throwing the Storm Gravity Evolve. Dennis pulls it, and it holds. He must know the lane man here. Clancy can still strike out to keep a 4-pin lead over Dennis if they both strike out. Jimmy will be about 40 back if he can punch out in the 10th. Still got 5 more games to go, though, so lots of games to make up ground. Dennis does the double in the 10th, giving Clancy the business. Clancy says, "Here you go, I got it right here for you." Alright, Dennis finishes with 242.
Game 1, had it. Here we go. I hear a storm brewing.
Clancy finishes with 247, so he's got a 5-pin lead over Dennis going into game 2. And Jimmy's looking to have some damage control to get 3 in the 10th and finish with 199. That's a bit out. Wash out.
I just want clarification.
Jimmy's going to finish in the 180s. Alright, Jimmy finishes with 187, so he's got a little bit of ground to make up. 60 back of the leader, Clancy DeGroot. They're going to move on to game 2, where they're going to throw a hybrid. Use the restroom real quick.
I just need to see the angle. Because we're using a different ball on every pair, just make sure we can get lined up. Yeah, exactly. Are you icing me? Yeah, it's payback from Mason. Obviously, we're going to need that 10 minutes. It's always fun. He must have shut him off in the back. You know somebody who tried to ice me or what? I think he's icing me. My lefties need that.
What's going on, Dennis?
Gives a few shots.
Cycle start.
Alright guys, we're just between games here. They're going to get a little warm up here on the second pair with their hybrids. And we'll find out what ball they've chosen for the game. After game one, Clancy leads with 247. Dennis Klein is second with 242. And Jimmy is a little bit behind with a 187 game one. That game was with a solid. Again, they are throwing their hybrids now. This is where Jimmy's looking to make up some ground. He loves the hybrids. while they're getting warmed up, from CBE, we would like to thank all of our sponsors that have stepped up this year. We really appreciate all of you guys. Apparel EFX providing everybody, all of our winners, with incredible jerseys. Our title sponsor, Kevin Jenkins with Avtech Industrial. Huge thank you to him. If you guys see Kevin Jenkins, make sure you thank him, shake his hand, tell him how much we appreciate him. As well as a couple pro shops that came on this year, Dave Sprigliano and Bowling Dynamics, as well as yours truly, Dennis Klein with Your Strike Shop. We'd also like to thank Columbia 300 for providing a bowling ball to give away at every event. And if you need your houses painted, make sure you guys reach out to Chuck's Painting. He does houses. I noticed that he does concrete. He does everything, and his work is incredible, first class. And finally, we'd like to thank Burwright Realty, Mark Burwright. We appreciate every single one of you guys. Without you guys, we aren't able to provide such great tournaments and great prize funds. Can't express as much thank you as I have for all of you guys. If anyone out there watching now or in the future when you watch this video, do know that Dennis has informed me once a month RH Johnson would love to host a shootout match, an action match. Minimum is $100 per person. So if you'd like to call somebody out, reach out to me, call them out. We'll set it up for you guys. We'll do this once a month. If you guys want to go heads up, one-on-one. If you want to have a three-way shootout like these guys are having here today, we can do that as well. You can choose just one ball to throw the whole time, multiple, whatever you guys want to do, let us know. This needs to be a minimum of $100 per person. That way it makes it a little interesting. Again, reach out, we'll make it happen. Dennis said it's just one more way to take away our weekends, so he's always looking for ideas. Make sure I don't have a life on the weekends. Alright, looks like they're ready to go for game 2. Again, Clancy's got a 5-pin lead with his 247 over Dennis Klein's 242, and Jimmy's 60 behind the leader with his 187 to open. We have the current running totals up at the top left of your screen. We'll keep those updated every game. And I'll find out what balls these guys are throwing for game 2. Jimmy. right, for game 2, they are all throwing a hybrid. Your leader, Clancy, will be throwing the Conspiracy hybrid. Looks like he likes that conspiracy line. And 5 pins behind him, Dennis will be throwing the Storm Physics. And with a lot of room to make up, Jimmy will be throwing the Statement hybrid. After this game, they will be throwing a Pearl ball. After their warm-up, we'll find out what ball they've chosen, and I'll get that information to you guys. I'm expecting Jimmy to make a big jump here. 180 is not going to be the norm for him.
No, that's not working either.
Once again, these guys are bowling on the R.H. Johnson house shot. They are throwing different bowling balls each game. Game 1, they threw a solid. Game 2, they throw in a hybrid. In Game 3, they will throw a pearl. And then we'll do the same for the second round for Games 4, 5, and 6. If you guys are watching this, make sure you click the subscribe button. This is going to be our new CBE channel, presented to you by Your Strike Shop. Thank you to Dennis Klein and Your Strike Shop for generously sponsoring the channel to get us some great equipment for live streaming. We will be streaming our entire events as well as the finals with commentary during the finals. So make sure you guys are tuning in at all of our upcoming events. Again, the Lawn King, November 8th through the 10th. That is a senior event with $5,000 to win. I'm notified there's about 10 spots available for that. And then CBE starts taking the floor again November 30th for an open event. That's our 9th event of the year and the final chance to earn points towards the buys for the major. December 14th, we have the senior major. Again, we're looking to get some more sponsors for that. Want to guarantee at least $1,500. We'll get you guys all the details soon. The format for that will be very similar to the Open Division Midseason Major. You guys will bowl 6 games of qualifying. We will cut to the top 12 and then add in the top 4 from the season points that earn the buys and the free entry to the tournament. With your 4 seniors that have earned their buys into the final major of the season. Your leader, Jeff Rowe, with a 55-point lead and 2 wins this year in 7 events. Your second buy goes to second in points, Jerry Sikora, with a win this year in 7 events and 134 points. Third, with only 5 events, was Steve Roberts. However, since he did not bowl the minimum 6 events, he does not earn the bye. Fourth in points, Mike Barkus earns a bye. 7 events, 1 title, 130 points. And your last bye goes to our 5th place in points, Charlie Price, who bowled all 8 events. Only missed 1 this year, which I believe was a doubles. He was bummed about it. 8 events, 127 points. Anything can still happen because the senior major is double points. So Jeff Rose still got to show up and bowl to win the Player of the Year. However, he's got a pretty good cushion there. Again, that event will be 6 games of qualifying. Then we will cut to the top 12, add in our 4 byes to round out a field of 16. And 1 through 4 seeds will earn a 2-round bye. 5 through 8 earn a 1-round bye. The first round will be 9 through 16. 9 versus 16, 10 versus 15, and so on. Every round will be 2-game total pinfall. After the first round, we add in 5 through 8 seeds. And after that round, we add in the 1 through 4 seeds, which will be our top 8. And we will work our way down to the title match to see who the winner is and be able to determine who our Player of the Year is for the seniors.
We're gonna wear the wrist device. You gotta wear it for spares too, right?
After our senior major, we have our biggest event of the year, which is our season finale Open Major. That will be on December 28th and 29th. Guaranteed $4,000 to win for that one. Got about 10 spots or so left for that. Guaranteed $4,000. Looking more like we're going to pay at least $5,000 to the winner. Load of cash, $400. That's on a $200 entry. Seniors start filling those spots as well, because the high senior out of cash and the high female out of cash will get a $200 check. So essentially you get a chance to bowl. And if you're the last one, you're the first senior or the first woman out of the cash line, you'll get to bowl for free because you get $200. Currently our top 4 looking to earn buys for that. However, we do still have 1 event left. Like I mentioned before, November 30th at Lakeview. Our top 4 in points for the Open Division currently: Jim Pratt, 7 events, 2 wins, 175 points. Second, Cortez Shank, 6 events, 2 wins, 151 points. Gary Estep, 6 events, 1 win. That was the mid-season major, so that jumped him quite a bit since it was double points. And he's got 124. And your 4th seed as of right now has to bowl the November 30th event to qualify for those buys. 5 events, Miguel Lopez with 113 points. However, very close to him. In 5th, Mark Myers, 105 points. Greg Thompson Jr., 103. Kyle King, who is unfortunately out for the year, 101 points. 8th, Michael Fitzgerald, 83. Kevin Jenkins in 9th at 81. And still with an outside chance, 10th, Chris Clark with 73, and Aaron Yamamoto with 72. Any of those guys can pop off a win, jump themselves up, and try to sneak into the top 4 to earn a bye. If you are looking to sign up for the season finale major, I do have 9 spots available as of right now, all on the 9 a.m. squad. The 3 p.m. squad is full, with a couple guys on the wait list to jump into that squad. So 9 spots available. That means we have 111 entries. Scratch bowling is not dead in Arizona. I know a bunch of guys say that it is. However, it is definitely not dead. We are reviving it. Myself, Dennis, and all of our great sponsors are doing everything we can to revive that scratch bowling in Arizona. update on our game 2. Looks like Dennis and Jimmy started off with a spare and a 4-bagger. So Jimmy's trying to earn his way back, but Dennis is striking away, so he's keeping his distance. Clancy's got a couple 9s in the middle of some strikes. All right, Dennis strikes again for a little 5-bagger, keeping the pressure on them. Clancy is definitely not going away, though. As mentioned before, Jimmy likes the hybrids. This is where he's looking to gain ground. Going his statement hybrid. However, Dennis and his physics is keeping the pace. Dennis got a little fast there. Leaves a Swisher 7-pin. Clancy takes advantage and throws a strike down there. Dennis spares that up, made it a little interesting, but he got it. All right, your current off the sheet scores. Jimmy Montgomery 290, Dennis Klein 269, and Clancy DeGroot 268. So Jimmy's looking to chip away at that lead if he can keep striking. Takes out the 7-10, flexes on him. Clancy saying, how do you beat that? Jimmy saying it's all in the fingers.
Here's my towel.
Dennis is throwing in the towel. They might be rewinding and watching that one in the shop a few times this week. Clancy spares up the 6-pin routine. It's hard to follow up Jimmy's Swisher 710 he got out of there. Alright, Dennis gets back on track with a strike. Keeping the pressure on Jimmy. Dennis. I shared it on there.
Sure. Okay.
All the groups. I think Clancy's still a little shook from Jimmy's 710 that he carried out of there. A little 7-pin action there. Spare this up, punch for 236. Dennis is still looking for 269. And Jimmy's still trying to gain some pins with the 290. If you guys like what you're seeing, definitely subscribe. Build up our subscribers, as this is a new channel. We will be live streaming all of our CBE events with commentary throughout the finals for all of our events. Kicking that off with Alana King, November 8th through the 10th. We will also be having guest speakers at all of our events. Guys with knowledge of bowling balls, or pro shop operators, players that bowled in the event, so they can give us some insight of how the patterns played at all the tournaments. Alana King, we will be having your favorite commentators returning, Mike Hardesty and Sean Kozak. Definitely appreciate them stepping up for that. I'm going to try to get them for the senior major as well. They just don't know that yet. They commentated for the doubles that we had at the beginning of October, and I felt like they were pretty good and worked well together, so I'm asking them to come back and help as much as possible. We'll throw in some Keith Fung commentary here and there. Everybody likes Keith Fung and his commentary. I know I certainly get a laugh when he's on here. Clancy left a 6-pin last time on that lane. Made the adjustment and goes 6-8. That is full punishment for a good shot. Alright, Clancy wraps that game up with a 213. That puts him at 460 overall. Finish the game. Alright, Dennis gets the first hit in the 10th there. Again, he's looking to finish with 269, which will put him at 511. Give him a bit of a comfortable lead. Gets the important second one in the 10th. It's going to put him in the 260s. Put him at 500 plus after 2. Dennis stones an 8-pin to finish with 268s. Giving him 510 at the turn. Still got 4 more games to go, so ain't nobody celebrating yet. Oh, that was a big shot for Jimmy there. I could have chopped some pins off the lead. Now he's only looking to take 1 out of the lead. Jimmy takes that one out handily. Routine spare for him. With that beautiful pearl white Columbia spare ball. Can't wait to drill mine soon. Spare ball is usually the best ball in my bag. Now that I'm old, washed up, and don't bowl much, I shoot a lot more spares now. Alright, Jimmy puts 10 back there for 269. Giving Jimmy 456 after 2. Alright, we're going to move to the next pair. Just give us a couple minutes to get set up.
I'll let you get up first. Start here. I think we're just going to move everything. Yeah.
Probably easiest that way.
Oh, we got to get the cord.
some reason. We're good now.
It shut off?
Yeah, we're good now.
Now, maybe a flaky and on USB. I just moved the cable back here, and it looks like it's working now. It sounds good. You're really clear and everything. We're in the Pro Shop monitor. So I don't have it on back here. You know, we've got it on there on the big screen, but no sounds. Just showing. So you watch somebody bowl here, you get an instant replay. You turn around, you know, it's about 10 seconds delayed. So. It's actually really cool. I moved the scores to that side. Okay. It was black over here, so easier to see.
Clancy, what ball?
Conspiracy Pro.
Did you get Montgomery?
Yeah.
Got everybody?
Yep. All right, guys, we're here for Game 3. Dennis has a 50-pin lead after 2 with his 242, 268 with the solid and the hybrid, sitting at 510. Clancy's in second with a 247 and 213 with 460. And Jimmy's sitting in third, not too far behind Clancy now with 187, 269, sitting at 456. 4 more games to go. So anything can happen still. This game, these guys are throwing a pearl. Jimmy is throwing a Savage Life. Dennis is throwing a Physics Pearl. And Clancy's staying with that conspiracy line, throwing the Conspiracy Pearl. Dennis starts off pulling it and leaving a 3-pin. Clancy leaves a Swisher 10. Should be routine spares for each of these guys. Jimmy's going to look to try and strike and get off to an early lead. Start chipping away at that lead from Dennis. All right, Jimmy gets off to a quick lead there with his 10 back, throwing the Savage Life. Dennis throws a much better shot there, putting 10 back. Clancy's going to look to do the same here.
Just a bit outside. Go anywhere.
All right, Jimmy's got a quick double there. Once again, if anybody else out there would like to have a shootout match, RH Johnson will allow us to do this once a month. If you want to go heads up with someone, call them out on Facebook, message me, whatever you guys would like to do, we'll get you set up. $100 minimum. You guys can definitely bowl for more money than that if you like, but we'd like to see you guys bowl for at least $100 a man. You bowl heads up, multiple guys, whatever you like to do. Heck, we could probably even run multiple matches if you guys would like to see that. If we can get multiple guys down here, we will live stream all of it. We'll get you set up on that. If you guys want to see a pattern for the shootouts, we can make that happen as well. Just reach out to myself or Dennis Klein, and we'll get that set up for you. Again, this is CBE's new YouTube channel, presented to you by Your Strike Shop. Once again, thank you to Dennis Klein for providing all of the great equipment for these live streams. We look forward to gaining some more subscribers, getting more views. And in the long run, more views, more subscribers turns into more sponsors. Gives us more leverage to go out there and say, hey, we got guys watching. They're going to see your product, which means bigger prize funds. We have big goals for CBE. If you guys thought Season 1 was good, let's keep watching for the upcoming seasons. We're going to keep on growing. The good thing is myself and Dennis Klein have big goals. We have Jacob Buttriff helping us out. He's got big goals and big ideas. So we're going to just keep on growing. And when I say growing, I mean big prize funds. That's what I like to see. Bigger prize funds, lower entry fees, equals happy bowlers. Unless you bowl bad that day, then obviously you're probably not happy, but we all have those bad days, and then you come back for the next one. All right, Dennis kicks out that 7-pin. Chip bag way down there. Once again, our upcoming events that will be live streamed at every single event with commentary on the finals. Lana King, $5,000 to the winner. That is a senior event, November 8th through the 10th. They got about 10 spots left. And then our CBE schedule wraps up the regular season November 30th at Lakeview with event number 9. Your last chance to earn points before the major. And then our seniors hit the floor for the senior major December 14th. And our season finale major December 28th and 29th. Got about 9 spots left for that. I got a little bit more than 10 guys from out of state. California, New Mexico, and Nevada. You guys should definitely come out for that one. Guaranteed $4,000, but with our number of entries, we're going to pay $5,000 to first. Load of cash will be $400 minimum. And our highest senior and highest female outside of a cash line will get $200 each. If you're from out of state, why are you not signed up for that? Get out here. Not often you get the bowl for $4 or $5 grand for $200. I love our regional tour. However, $200 is less than a regional entry, and we're paying more than a regional. So why are you not signed up? Why are you not coming out? What can we do differently to make you want to come out and bowl? Again, we have 9 spots available on the morning squad. Our afternoon squad is currently full. If you guys have any questions for myself or any of us, throw them in the chat. Do our best to answer everything. Again, for game 3, they are all throwing a Pearl. Jimmy is throwing the Savage Life. Dennis throwing the Physics Pearl. And Clancy throwing the Conspiracy Pearl. Jimmy's looking to make a big move this game. Dennis has an open. Clancy has an open. Jimmy's still looking to keep throwing those strikes. Make a big jump. Oh, Dennis thought he left the 10 pin, but his mechanics in the back probably kicked that over for him. Trips it out.
Pro shop operator.
That probably cost him $50 to the mechanic. All right, Jimmy looks pretty warmed up now, so he's looking to make his move. All right, Dennis looks to be on track. Clancy's looking to get back on track. Throws 10 in the pit. Split the 8-9 on that one. Entry angle looked a little bit off for Jimmy on that one, leaving a ring 10. Throw that pearly white Columbia 300 spare ball down there and shoot it like a routine spare. Jimmy just misses that one. Looks like he had an issue with the approach up there. Dennis puts 10 back, taking advantage of the open from Jimmy. Clancy gets a little swisher strike there. He's liking it.
It's not working, so I'm just going to throw it anywhere.
Again, each of these guys put a $500 a man. Winner's taking home $1,500. If you guys would like an action match, go to our Complete Bowling Events Facebook group page. Call somebody out. See if we can set you guys up. RH Johnson has graciously allowed us to do this once a month. $100 minimum per bowler. Would love to see multiple matches going on at once. Along with bringing back scratch bowling, let's bring back some pot games and some action games. Have a little smack talking involved. It's all fair in my book. Clancy gives him a high flush strike there. Completes a turkey. He can punch out for 237. Jimmy could strike out for 236. And Dennis can expand his lead. He can punch out for 257. Jimmy splits the 8-9 on that one. Set himself up good for the 10th. However, Dennis is the one looking to expand his lead here. Got ourselves a nice little crowd here watching as well, which is pretty cool. It's the thing about RH Johnson. We always get guys coming out to watch. Always got a good crowd here. That's why CBE loves coming here. The bowlers love coming here. And their hospitality here is second to none. Alright, that double in the 10th is going to put Dennis in the 250 range, expanding his lead. Clancy knocking out the 8-pin there with a little 5-bagger, getting himself to the 230 range. All right, Dennis wraps that one up with a 257. Clancy wraps it up with a 237. Jimmy gets the first one in the 10th here to try and keep a slight lead over Clancy.
We haven't discussed that yet.
All right, Jimmy gets a double and 9 for 235. All right, we'll be right back with you in just a moment as we move lanes for game 4. Here we go again.
Turn that mic off if you want. Oh, that's your chair. Yeah, go ahead.
Dennis. What, Paul?
Clancy didn't have enough equipment to change each round.
All right, so we're starting the second set of these 6 games. Game 4. Coming at you as you see in your top left, the current standings. Dennis Klein shooting 767 the first 3, 242, 268, 257. And Clancy's in second with a 697, 247, 213, 237. And Jimmy's not far behind with a 691, with a 187, 269, 235. They are back to the pair where they are all throwing a solid. Dennis has chosen to throw the same ball, the Gravity Evolve, and Clancy is throwing the original Conspiracy again. And Jimmy has elected to throw a Track Red Paradox. All right, Dennis whiffs a 4-pin in the second frame. Looks like he's trying to give these guys some room to come back. Not sure why he would want to do that. I'd be stepping on their throats at this moment if it was me. But I'm sure Dennis will come back here with probably a 4 or 5 bagger at least. That is not the way Dennis wanted to follow up, missing the 4-pin. A little pocket 7-10 action there. Clancy splits the 8-9. All right, Jimmy gets back on track there with his Track Red Paradox in a Swisher strike. Dennis is looking to get back online here, throwing the Gravity Evolve. he goes high a little bit again, leaves a 4-pin. Clancy's looking to stay online here with his Conspiracy Solid. And he wraps at 7-pin on a pretty solid shot there. And Dennis takes down the 4-pin this time. As you see in the top left, Dennis has a 70-pin lead over Clancy with his 767. Clancy's 697. And Jimmy's close behind Clancy with a 691. Still have 2 more games left after this to complete their 6-game total shootout. So anything can still happen if anyone gets hot. If Dennis doesn't do some damage control this game, then somebody's going to sneak up and catch him. Jimmy puts 10 back that time. Jimmy looks to be lined up this game with his Track Paradox Red. While Dennis is struggling a little bit and Clancy seems to be on a Dutch 200 pace. Let's see if he can get a double here, kick out the 7-pin. He gets the 7-pin out of there, but I think he was more happy about getting the 6-pin out of there and not leaving the 6-8 again. A little bit high there to leave only the 8. Well, Dennis went high 4-pin the last 2 times on that lane, and so he tried something different and went light 4-pin. Jimmy takes care of the 8-pin. I'm sorry, Clancy takes care of the 8-pin. Clancy. Wrong lane. This is Jimmy's first time bowling, so sometimes he loses track of what lane he's on. I mean, he's only been following Dennis for 3.5 games, so, you know, why not change it up and follow Clancy that time? But he backs it up with a 4-bagger, chipping away at the lead that Dennis has right now. Jimmy is 76 behind Dennis. So if he could pop off a big game here while Dennis is struggling, that will make a huge jump for him. Clancy's keeping his Dutch 200 pace alive. Jimmy gets a huge break there. Missed in by quite a bit. Not even close to his target. Gets all head pin. Carries out the 3-6-10 to give him a 5-bagger. Clancy's giving him the business. All right, let's see if Clancy can break this Dutch 200 up here. Get a strike. He's still got a 240 sitting up there if he can throw the back 6. And that's another pesty 7-pin. I believe on that lane he's gone 7-pin, 7-pin, 8-pin, 7-pin. And he's moved on each of them as well. All right, Dennis puts 10 back, trying to salvage this game. He can still strike out for a 214. Seven pins, rather routine for Clancy. A solid spare shooter. Get the reset. All right, Jimmy throws a 6-bagger in there. That one was much better than the last shot.
Didn't score yet, so you're gonna have to put it in.
Gotta get the desk to do it. A little technical difficulty. It didn't mark Clancy's spare up there. All right, if these guys all strike out, Jimmy's looking to chip away massively at the lead. If he punches out for 279, Clancy's got a 220 looking up there if he can strike out. And Dennis Klein's got 214 if he can strike out.
Okay, Dennis. We're good.
Dennis isn't too proud to take that one. Swisher gets the 5 pin out of there. All right, Clancy likes that left lane, 5 for 5 over there. And on the right lane, has not missed the hole, but cannot strike. He's gonna need a big 10th. Looks like Dennis is salvaging this game. It was looking ugly early. He started executing better. Looking to get into the 200s now. This is a big shot for Clancy if he can get the first one. It looked good. Couldn't finish though. Leaves a Swisher 10. This right lane, he's gone 7 pin, 7 pin, 8 pin, 7 pin, 10 pin. And Dennis goes high flush to leave a 9 pin. Certainly could have got it, but it was a little bit high. And Clancy runs that one down pretty easily. Clancy's trying to see if anybody will take a bet if he strikes or not on this one. Dennis finishes with 203. And Clancy finishes off the Dutch 200. Getting a big strike on the fill ball.
Touch 200, I get 100 bonus points? Yes? No? Anybody? No?
Real story here, though, is Jimmy trying to make a big jump. If he can get the first one here, that puts him in the 260s. Again, Jimmy was down by 76 going into this game. If he strikes out, he is now tied with Dennis, I believe. If I'm doing my math right, he'll be tied with Dennis. Yes.
He
strikes out, you guys are tied. That's a big one for Jimmy there. This next one can get him in a tie with Dennis. And they'll have a 73-pin lead over Clancy. Still 2 to go, though. Anything can happen. That wraps up a 279 for Jimmy, pulling him into a tie with Dennis at 970 apiece. And Clancy is a little bit behind with an 897. We'll be back momentarily.
Grab your phone. You need it or not? We're good. You didn't wait.
This in front of me.
All right.
Yep.
What do you got?
970 for Dennis and Jimmy. And Clancy is 897. It's CBE. It's on YouTube. Yep, it's on YouTube. It's CBE presented by Your Strike Shop. Is the channel.
Place to catch running score.
Yeah, it'll be up there too in the top right one. Should be up there any second now.
Right over here on the TV.
All right, Dennis is there with a lucky strike. Again, our running totals through 4 games. Dennis, 970. Jimmy, with a big 279, pulls him into a tie with Dennis at 970. And 73 pins behind Clancy with 897. After Clancy had a very nice Dutch 200 game. They are now all throwing a hybrid. They're throwing the same ball that they threw in game 2. Jimmy's got a statement hybrid. Dennis has a physics. And Clancy's throwing the conspiracy hybrid. Once again, if you guys like what you're seeing, this will be our new channel for all of our live streams. So make sure you click that subscribe button. Watch out on Facebook when we share the videos. We'll be live streaming all of our events from the start of the tournament till the end. along with commentary on all of our finals. We will be moving to recording the entire finals along with commentary rather than just the title matches. Dennis Klein and Your Strike Shop has graciously stepped up and sponsored to get us some great equipment to do some live streaming. He said if we're going to do this, we're going to do it the right way. So we got some nice cameras, microphones. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, CBE, presented by Your Strike Shop. Share the video, get it out there. Let's build up some subscribers. If you guys have ideas of anything else you would like to see on the YouTube channel, please let us know. If you guys would like to see any reviews, ball reviews, anything along those lines, let us know. We'll see if we can get some guys to do that for you. And as I mentioned earlier, subscribe to the video, share it. Let's get more people watching. As we get more people watching, that's more for us to go out and fight and get more sponsors for you guys so we can have bigger prize funds. If you guys think $5,000 for first for our major at the end of the year is good, I have bigger goals. Next year I'd like to get some sponsors to make our mid-season major worth $5,000 and our major at the end of the year worth $10,000. I'd also like to get our doubles built up to where we could pay out $4,000 or $5,000 to the winners on that, all while not changing our entry fees. I would love to keep our entry fees the same, but pay you guys more. These prize funds don't happen without the support of the bowlers, and especially the support of all of our sponsors. Our title sponsor, AvTech Industrial. If you guys see Kevin Jenkins, ask him about it. He can give you guys all the details you need. They may have products that would help you guys. And make sure you tell him thank you. He is our title sponsor for the year. Definitely appreciate everything Kevin does for us. And thank you to the support of all of our other sponsors. Pro Shops Bowling Dynamics with Dave Sirigliano. Thank you. Dennis Klein and Your Strike Shop. Along with Apparel EFX, providing all of our winners this year with jerseys. Can't thank them enough for keeping our players looking good. If you guys need any painting needs, make sure you reach out to Chuck Lucas and Chuck's Painting. And for any realtor needs, make sure you reach out to Mark Burwright with Burwright Realty. They would all be happy to take care of you guys and the needs that you guys have in their specialized fields. And again, thank you to all of them. If you see them, shake their hand, tell them thank you. Without their support, CVE is not as good as it is. And again, we just look to grow even more next year. All right, let's catch up on the action here. Dennis started off with a big 3-bagger. Now it's getting a little bit tighter as Jimmy's got a 4-bagger coming off of his big 279. He's got 14 in a row working between last game and this game. And Clancy splits the 8-9 there. Dennis runs down that spare. He had a little sleeper behind there, 2-8. Jimmy did tell me before they started that the hybrid is his favorite ball. So I look for him to have a big game here. Jimmy started off 60 behind the leader, and now he is tied for the lead after games of 187, 269, 235, 279. Just to remind you that 279 was on the same pair that he had his 187, where they threw the solid. And Clancy's running into some transition, it looks like, and struggling with getting some carry. It's the thing, when you're the only lefty out there and you're hitting your target every time, you see the transition a lot later. While you're hitting your transition, the right-handers have already seen the transition and they're in their wheelhouse now. It looks like that's what's happened with Jimmy. He's gotten in his wheelhouse. He's warmed up. Lanes have changed a little bit. Now he's just striking at will. While Clancy's hit transition on the pairs now and struggling a little bit. Swisher 7 for Jimmy. All right, Dennis is looking to get back on the strike track after Jimmy gave him a little bit of an opening with that Swisher 7. Nancy's lost everything. All right, Jimmy's opened the door back up now for Dennis. If Dennis can go up in the 8th and throw another strike, put some more pressure back on Jimmy to get back on the strike train. Dennis goes a little bit light, leaves a 10 pin there. Needs to spare this up to keep it close. After Jimmy shot 180 and he was 60 back of the leader, I did tell you all this is 6 games. Don't count them out. Look where we're at now. After 5, it's looking like Jimmy's going to have a nice little lead. Oh, that is not good. Jimmy finds his way to get 10 back again. If everybody strikes out, we're looking at 268 for Jimmy, 224 for Dennis, and 213 for Clancy. Dennis throws a pretty solid shot there to get all 10 back. Clancy gets a little lucky there to leave only the 610. Big strike by Jimmy there to set up his 10th. If he and Dennis can each strike out, Jimmy's going to have a 40-pin lead going into the last game. Which would be a huge swing from where we were at after 3. After 3, Dennis had a 76-pin lead over Jimmy. In game 4, Jimmy shot a big 279 to pull himself within a tie with Dennis. And now it's going to be looking like Dennis is the one that's trying to chase down Jimmy. Clancy's just lost all ball reaction completely. Where he can hit the pocket constantly, he's leaving 7 pins, so now he's just searching, trying to find something. That's a big double. That double by Dennis in the 10th still keeps Jimmy true, though. Jimmy still needs to show up in the 10th to have a big lead. Otherwise, it could be a lot closer than he would like. if he happens to get a bad break and split in the 10th or open. But I got money saying that Jimmy is not going to get an open the 10th. He's probably going to put 10 back right here. All right, Dennis finishes with 224, gives him a running total of 1194. Jimmy gets a bad break to leave a 10 pin there. Needs to spare this up. If he can spare this, he's going to have about a 20 pin lead over Dennis going into the final game of their 6-game shootout. And he runs that down with the pearly white Columbia 300 spare ball. Can't wait to drill mine. Jimmy wraps that up for 247.
All right, guys, we're back for the final game. Jimmy now has a little bit of a lead, sitting at 12-17 after 5 games. He is up by 23 on Dennis, who has 1194 through 5. And Clancy is a bit back with 1077 through 5. So this is looking like it's going to be a good finish between Dennis and Jimmy. See if a little smack talking ensues. Try and get in each other's head. They are throwing their Pearl balls on this pair. Jimmy's throwing the Columbia 300 Savage Life. Dennis is throwing the Physics Pearl by Storm. And our Brunswick representative, Clancy DeGroot, is throwing the Conspiracy Pearl. So let's see if they can make this exciting. Again, as there's only 23 pins separating Dennis and Jimmy, with Jimmy on the better end of that. And as we wrap things up with this last game, again, our upcoming schedule, which will be live streamed from game 1 through the end on every single event from here on out. Starting with the Lana King, November 8th through the 10th. $5,000 going to the senior winner there. 10 spots available for that event. And then our CBE season wraps up our year with our final few events. November 30th at Lakeview, the final open event of the year for the regular season. Your last opportunity to earn points towards earning that bye into the major. December 14th, our senior major. Again, I'm looking to guarantee $1,500. We're trying to get more. It's going to be a $100 entry for that. The format of that will be 6 games of qualifying, followed by top 12 making the cut, adding in the top 4 in points that earn their buys into the event. Those 4 players must bowl the event to determine what seed they will be. However, they will be part of the top 16 no matter what. And then they will bowl 2-game total pinfall matches from there on out. 1 through 4 seeds will earn a 2-round bye. 5 through 8, a 1-round bye. And the first round will consist of 9 through 16. 9 versus 16, 10 versus 15, and so on. The winners will go on to bowl 5 through 8 seeds. And the winners go on to join the 1 through 4 seeds for a round of 8. And every round is 2 games total pinfall. We look forward to seeing everybody out for that one. We'll get a flyer out very soon once we confirm all the details. Again, that is December 14th. And then we wrap up 2019 with our biggest event yet, December 28th and 29th. That's our season finale major. I have 9 spots available for that, all on the 9 a.m. squad. 9 spots available means that we are currently at 111 entries for a scratch tournament in Arizona. Somebody tell me that scratch bowling's dead, because it's not. Myself, Dennis Klein, and Jacob Buttroff have worked our butts off this year, getting all of our wonderful sponsors, putting on great events, growing the sport. We'd love to see some guys from other states come out. As I mentioned before, I only have about maybe 10 or 15 people from other states. If you guys aren't traveling for that, you're missing out. It's going to be a great one. Guaranteeing $4,000 for first, but with our entry count currently, we're looking at $5,000 for first, $400 for minimum cash, all on a $200 entry. Seniors, don't be afraid. Women, don't be afraid. Our highest senior and our highest woman outside of a cash spot will get $200 each. So make sure you sign up for that one. Again, that's December 28th through the 29th. And back to our final game here. Dennis and Jimmy are not disappointing with their shootouts. Jimmy's got a 23-pin lead on Dennis, and they have both started off with the front four. While Clancy's got a strike, spare, and a double up there. And Dennis gives us a 5-bagger now, keeping the pressure on Jimmy. Dennis starts a little smack talking, telling Jimmy he's not rolling over for anybody.
My first 3-bagger in 3 games. I didn't even know what it feels like.
Uh-oh. Oh, Jimmy's got some room out there. All right, Dennis spares up his 10-pin. Jimmy's looking to expand his lead here if he can get a strike. All right, Jimmy throws a 6-bagger up there. Currently with a 44-pin lead. Dennis gets back on track there, throwing a big strike. Clancy's quietly got a 5-bagger up there. He's possibly throwing more strikes in a row right there than he has the last 3 games total. Oh, and Jimmy knocks out that solid 9. Wow. Jimmy says, I'm not going anywhere. Jimmy throws another big one there. Starting off with the front 8. Looking to close this one out with a big game. Dennis is still keeping him true, though, by striking. And he needs some mistakes by Jimmy. I don't see that happening anytime soon, though. Dennis can strike for 279, while Clancy can strike out for 280, and Jimmy still got that big 300 number up there. Dennis gets a big hit in the 9th. Uh-oh. Oh, and Jimmy trips out the 4. Sitting on front 9 going into the 10th.
Dennis up by, or Jimmy up by
20,
20 what?
24, 23. 23. All right, Dennis throws a big double in the 10th. Dennis throws a big double in the 10th, putting him in the 270 range. Jimmy's got this one locked up now for the win. He's just going for the big number now when he gets up in the 10th to make it a little more exciting. And Dennis finishes with 278. Nothing to be ashamed of. Dennis finishes out averaging 245 for his 6 games with a 1472 total. And Jimmy gets the first hit in the 10th. Give him a front 10. He's taking his victory lap now. As I told everyone after game 1 when he shot 180 and was 60 back to the leader, I said it's 6 games. Don't count Jimmy out. And he comes back and wins it. Jimmy gets the 11th one, tripping out the 10 pin. Jimmy throws it good. Puts 10 back for the big 300. Shoots 15-17 to win by 45. That's a big 826 the last three by Jimmy to take home the win and the 1500. Averaging 252 today. That's a big number. And Clancy's just wrapping his up right now. Again, we'll see you guys at our next event, the Lana King, November 8th through the 10th. We'll be live streaming the entire tournament, and we will see Mike Hardesty and Sean Kozak commentating on the finals on the 10th. Got about 10 spots available for that one, so make sure you show up. If you're a senior and you're not signed up for that, you are crazy. $5,000 to win. That is insane. And Clancy wraps it up with a 259, giving him a total of 1336. Again, your winner today, Jimmy Montgomery, with the 1500 that he just flashed in front of everybody. 1517. Runner-up, Dennis Klein, 1472. And Clancy rounding out with a 1336. We will see you guys November 8th through the 10th from the Lana King here at RH Johnson. If you guys have any matches that you want to call anybody out, let us know. RH Johnson has graciously agreed to let us do this once a month. So reach out to me, call somebody out. Let's get some action bowling going on in Arizona. Ramsey Bezerto's got it going on in California. He's doing a great job with that. And we look forward to seeing you guys next time.